Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News and your daily Rostermania update. It seems at this point so much stuff going on at the present time. I'm going to talk about cNed, some former NIP players, where they might be ending up, plenty other stuff in between as well. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. Top this channel to reach new people, and please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. Firstly, let's just dive straight into the Rostermania stuff today, because plenty to get to. Firstly, from Renegades down there, we've got Lin and Apoth. They're joining the NRG team, so not the greatest team, at least so far in their Valorant history, but they're always a squad that at some point or another, at least in the games they tend to operate in, have some degree of success, build a team that people aren't expecting to do so well, and find some, well, hidden gem of the talent that can actually make their team pretty good. We'll see how this one goes. There's also this from Coco that comes up with OG, of course. This team that's, well, been trying to get into a fair few esports as of late. They're bringing in supposedly a full French team. Now, interestingly enough about this squad, doesn't seem like so far they've had the greatest results, at least playing together. So this is what the roster is meant to be. I don't know too much about these players, but I thought I'd bring it up for you guys anyway, if you guys are interested in this team and this potential region. But three of these guys, Unco, Lauren, and, well, I'm not even sure how you're meant to pronounce that, to be honest, but I guess Foxio or something along those lines. Now, they actually played a match together when they were playing for a team called Five Monkeys. You guys can see right here, they played, I'm pretty sure that this squad of three at least, have only played one matchup together, and it wasn't exactly too pretty, right? They played against Besiktas Esports, and I mean, yeah, these three guys didn't have the greatest performance, but you know, it's only one map. I guess these guys saw something in them that OG want to run with. So yes, a new French team apparently going to be joining the ranks of the professional scene relatively soon. Now, this also comes out yesterday from Na'Vi. So well, they're making some changes to their Valorant roster, and what's quite interesting here is a lot of the former NIP guys, so Ninjas in Pajamas, they dropped their team, effectively their European squad, and they're going to apparently go to Brazil, but yet to be seen exactly what squad they're going to bring on from there. But yes, it seems like their current players, they're moving in a different direction, and they're, well, effectively all joining new organizations at this point. That has some implications for, well, 100 Thieves we'll talk about here in just a second. So Na'Vi say the following: changes in Na'Vi Valorant, and as you can see right here on their, well, on the thing that they come out with, Arch's place will be taken by JD, a talented player who played for NIP in 2021. So effectively NIP dropped their team. That's a bit of a surprise. JD joining Arch's place for this Na'Vi Valorant roster. A lot of people quite excited about JD and Cloud as that kind of duo potentially could be a new team to, well, cause some upsets really in the kind of CAS region and compete with Gambit and try and make things happen, because these guys were looking pretty good for a time. JD could be a key figure to make something happen in that region. So well, definitely exciting stuff on that front. Now also Rhyme, who was also formerly of Ninjas in Pajamas, he gets announced to Gen.G. So everyone making announcements for changes yesterday. Quite a remarkable day of action really. So yeah, some nice highlights here from Rhyme as well. So yes, Gen.G, he joins their roster, Rhyme's in there, and of course NIP also had some other players that are, well, seemingly going in different directions. Before we talk about one of them, I just wanted to say this real quick from Nitro, because we saw quite recently that Valorant had kind of come up with a Game Changers scene as like an official Game Changers LAN for the female professional Valorant community towards the end of the season, and ESL from the Counter-Strike side have kind of come up with a similar idea to try and compete, right, to make sure that I guess all the women don't go over and play Valorant instead. And then Nitro drops the W here on the timeline, which just kind of indicates maybe a little bit more that, like, okay, he's more involved in the Counter-Strike scene now than he is in the Valorant side, because we're very much expecting he's going to return to Liquid, probably announced in the coming days, to compete on their Valorant side. And of course that means 100 Thieves need some other players to join their roster, one of which may well be eCLs, of course. So he was formerly of Ninjas in Pajamas as well, and thought I'd join him with the trends. He's the in-game leader of that team, I believe, and now he's going to be the in-game leader, we think, of 100 Thieves. That at least is the current rumor. He could be going in a completely different direction. It's by no means confirmed. The rumors haven't been incredibly solid, but the rumor was for a while that eCLs and Breeze were going to join Hiko, Asuna, and Ethan. Now, well, Breeze apparently is going to stay in Counter-Strike, so they're going to need one more player, and who could that potentially be? There's big question marks around that, but eCLs may well be their IGL going into next year. Now, officially he's signed his contract, it seems, so you know, it could be 100 Thieves one. I guess we'll see over the coming days. I'm sure announcements that are going to come out, like maybe before Christmas, maybe after Christmas, maybe in the new year, because there isn't really all that long to get things confirmed, as Acend are certainly finding out. So that was the question. Could cNed potentially join 100 Thieves? It would have been a weird one, just because of like the language situation, right? How well does cNed speak English? Like, you know, how would that go? It just seemed like a kind of crazy one, but at the same time, if cNed's up for grabs and you're 100 Thieves, if you're already any other team in the North American or the European side, you've got to think about trying to snag this guy. Now, this may well be the case, as kind of I talked about, I theorized when it was first talked about, that the rest of the Acend guys had actually signed their new contracts and got ready to go for the season, and that cNed hadn't done that quite as of yet. Now, I kind of theorized, okay, cNed's just going to bide his time, he's going to talk to these other organizations, organizations, get some offers there, and then go back to Ascend and say, okay, look, this is the cash the 100 Thieves offered me, you know, match that, and I'll rejoin the World Championship winning squads. So probably that's what he's going to do. Seems like right here that he's close to actually re-signing with the VALORANT World Champions, which of course is what you may well expect. But well, as is described right here in the article, Ascend will head into 2022 with their World Champion roster, competing in the European League they were directly invited to, along with Gambit, Liquid, and Fnatic. The August cutting it close to not yet securing a roster though, right? Because, well, it starts, of course, in January. It's not too far long, but, you know, you would imagine that cNed, Zeke, Bone Cold, Kyles, and Starkso with Coach MBS are still going to be the roster going into next year. But at least is what the current rumours are suggesting, that cNed is going to re-sign after all, which makes a fair bit of sense at the end of the day. Now, I also wanted to mention this just before we discuss some other roster news. Purist from, well, VLR.GG. He's been doing a lot of his reporting for VLR. We discussed yesterday that George Geddes, he's moving in a new direction as well, off from Upcomer. So, you know, are these guys getting all acquired by somewhere or other? Because those articles we just looked at were done by Coco over at Decerto. So that's what I'm saying. Are Decerto really trying to get into the VALORANT reporting game? That may well be the case, but I think cool to see regardless, because he's been doing some great work as of late in terms of reporting some of these roster news. And well, this is another piece of roster news that comes out from Chandy and Liquipedia last night. This is supposedly that Brazilian squad we've been talking about. I kind of theorized, okay, could it be MIBR that come in here? Seemingly it's Loud GG coming in with a new team. Now, Sacy is going to lead up this squad, of course, formerly of the Team Vikings, and then Owner, the coach of Crew, is apparently going to be joining this squad as well. So this could well be the squad of 5 plus the coach on Loud going into next season, which is a pretty talented roster on paper, so we'll see how these guys compete if they do. But just interesting really to see Owner going on from Crew, given the success that they had, and Sacy being a fantastic player at Champions. Like, well, he's obviously looking for some next options as well to try and make this team as best as it possibly can be for that Brazilian region going forwards. This also from George Geddes last night, sources alongside Purist. Version 1 set to sign Xander to their VALORANT roster. So many teams, so many organizations right now making so many changes. But Version 1, after having a really great start last year, at least when VALORANT initially kicked off, they really fell off the pace quite significantly. Zelsis, I'm pretty sure now, is the IGL. There was kind of some strange stuff going on right there as to what's going on with their roster. But well, Xander is now going to be the IGL for the team. He's joining in. That seems to be the direction that V1 are going in. So, I mean, yeah, just so many moves right now. It's tough to track all of them. But I'm doing my best to keep up with everything right now. This also another one that Purist comes out last night with. So Acend, of course, who fell short at Champions early on, should finalize the addition of Cryocells. This guy has been talked about a fair bit as being a very hot prospect, upcoming young player. He apparently is going to join at, well, Acend as well to finalize their roster. So lots to talk about this. Just, I mean, yeah, so many roster changes going on right now. It's tough to keep up with them. But yeah, 100 Thieves, like all the other organizations, certainly being involved, but also some of the kind of lesser North American organizations and other regions as well. They're making some serious moves to try and bolster their teams going into VCT 2022. This also just to mention from Ban real quick. He plays right now for the Knights, and well, he says an announcement soon. This could of course be anything, but who knows, right? Maybe he's getting poached for another organization. There's so many rumors. I'm sure it's tough to keep up with him for the guys that are actually doing the official reporting on this type of stuff, and even talking about them here on the channel. It gets quite challenging at times. But just to finish off with a couple of other things as we close down the video. Firstly, this from Odd I thought was definitely an interesting take. Bind is the worst map in VALORANT. Don't know if you guys agree or disagree with this one. I'm not sure this is fully the case, but it was well, it was getting a fair bit of traction really on the timeline. And also just because yesterday we discussed from the Boom guys that well, were owed some money for Riot for like winning some prize money in the Southeast Asian Challenger tournaments, and several months ago now, the other team seemingly got paid in September, October, and these guys were still waiting. Finally, these guys and Riot have spoken. They will get their payments in January. Thanks to everyone who made it happen, because all of you and all that type of stuff, all the traction they got as a result, definitely, I guess, helped Riot and stuff respond. So good end to that story, most certainly. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting a like button tells the YouTube gods this is a good video. I'll just like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive VALORANT community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.